In this video, I'm going to show you guys how you can simply create a notebook front cover which you can use straight away on Amazon KDP. So, welcome back to another video. My name is Rory, and if you haven't been here before, I run this channel called Mr. Rosa, and I like to talk about Amazon KDP, money, and a whole range of different things. So today in this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can easily create a notebook front cover which you will be able to use right away in Amazon KDP. Now I'm going to be creating this on Adobe Illustrator, so for some of you, you may not have that, but there is a lot of alternatives that you can use to create a simple front cover like this. As I'm about to show you, all I do is add a small quote on the front with a small vector at the bottom. By vector I mean small image of an animal, let's say. So let's dive straight into the computer. And first we're going to go to a website which I'm sure you've all heard of called Pinterest. So if my keyboard is going to work, so pinterest.com. Now what I like to do is I like to find small, very short, funny quotes which I can use on the front of my books. So I think I'm going to go for funny lizard quotes. So if we type that in, then have a look. I quite like that one there. Might be using that, but let's just have a quick look to see if there's any others. Yeah, that is also the kind of thing that would work. Can I vote my lizard for president? I mean, any of these. You're a lizard, Harry. That is a perfect example of something you could do. What does this one say? When you know you're ugly, but still trying. All of these are perfect examples of what you could do. So if we scroll back up to the top, I think I'm going to be using this one. I love lizards more than humans. I've got a folder saved for book ideas that I'm going to use, so I'm just going to click save, and that'll go straight to my book ideas folder. Now, what we got to do next is go and find a vector which we can use. So if we go to a website called Vecteezy, haven't heard of it, I'll leave a link in the description below which you can go and use. And then we type in lizards. It should come up with a whole range of lizards we can use. Now these ones with a star above them, they're pro version, which means you have to pay for it. Unfortunately, I am not paying for it, so won't be able to use any of these. So if we have a look, as you can see, there's a lot. Some of them are good, but they are in the pro version. But if you're willing to fork out a bit of money, I don't think it's much at all, then that could be a good thing you could do for yourself. So if we keep scrolling, nothing on that page. Go to the next page. Doesn't seem like there's anything. So this can take a bit of time, but honestly, in the long run, doesn't make any difference. So that kind of thing could work. We may come back to that in the future. Actually, no, I think we're going to use that. So if we click on that and then click free download, yeah, free license, and it will begin in 2 seconds. Yeah. Done. So it should come down here. Yeah, come down there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open Adobe Illustrator. And then as you can see, I already have my template open. So this is the size for your notebooks. This one has, what you're going to want is one with a bleed version on it, because when you upload it, it's going to cut off the edges around the front cover of the notebook. So this, if you can see here, it's 12.52 by 9.25. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide that layer there, and as you can see, it's just a blank black cover, and it's gone, as you can see, it's gone slightly over, so I don't have any problems with the bleed. And then what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to get the downloads. If you click downloads there, it should, if I open it. So I accidentally made a mistake there. What you're going to want to do, if I go back into here and then click open on the file, you're going to want to open the folder, drag the .eps file actually into Adobe Illustrator itself, click yes, and then, yeah, as you can see here, we have the gecko now in Adobe Illustrator. So if we remove, you're going to want to highlight the particular bits you want to remove. So for me, I'm going to be wanting to remove that, all of that. And yeah, that is all I need. So if we click Command C, for Windows people it will be Control C, and then go back into your thing, and then click Command V, Control V, sorry. And then as you can see, we now have the lizard on the front cover of the notebook. So what you're going to want to do, hold shift and stretch the size of the gecko so it doesn't change its shape, and then position it wherever you want. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to select the text box. So here it is there. If I double click on it, it should allow me to type yet. And then I'm going to go to character to change the font. And one I like to use is one, if I can find it, it's called Bubblegum, I think. Yeah. So there it is. If I type, what was the quote again? I love lizards more than humans. So if I go back into Adobe Illustrator, type I love, and then lizards more than, try and fit that all on that line. So as you can see, it didn't, so I'm just going to decrease the size there till it does. Okay, there we go. So it now fits. I love lizards more than humans. So as you can see, it's slightly too big. But what I want to do is I want the lizards and humans part to stand out. So I'm going to increase the size of that to the same size as the lizards one. So it was at 92. And then I'm going to decrease the size of this down to this one, 73. So it stands out a bit more. And then the spacing between the lettering is a bit too big for me, so I'm just going to decrease that. Oh. And you can mess around with it, just adjust the size to your liking. So as you can see there, it's all green, but I want the lizards and humans part to stand out. So what I'm going to do is change that one to white. And then if I want to make that more stand out, of more greener kind of green, if that makes sense. So yeah, that stands out a bit more. And then if we go to the dropper tool, click that. Yeah, as you can see, it stands out a bit more. So I'm not sure, so as you can see, you might not know if it is centered. So if I click back on layer 1 where I've got my template, so the text is centered, but the lizard one isn't centered. So I'm just going to hide that again, go into layers, select the lizard again, then go back into here, and then you can just adjust it to wherever you want. You may want it slightly off center to give a sort of effect. All depends on what you want. So I think if I click that, slightly off still, go a bit to the right. And yeah, if I then hide that, I'd say that is good. That is what I want. That is all I wanted. And then to finish it off, what you're going to want to do is type the spine of the book. So it should allow you, if you double click, to edit the spine. And then I'm just going to make it the title. So if I put it all in caps lock, I love lizards more than humans notebook. And then as I've got that as the spine, on the spine of the book, I can then name that the title of the book when we go into publishing the actual notebook itself. So if you would like a tutorial on that, I will definitely do that for you. Very simple to do. And yeah, that is the notebook. So I know some people like to do very complicated designs, and yeah, that can work for you, but this is just the way I did it. And as you saw in my last video, if you didn't, I'll leave a link up there, not there, there, on how much I made in my first few months on KDP. So if you found that useful, remember, like, subscribe, means the absolute world to me. It doesn't take you half a second to do. And actually, I've got a small thing to show you. So if I detach the camera from the tripod, we actually have a computer which I'm going to be building in the next couple of days. Just got the graphics card to arrive now. If you would like a video on that, I will definitely do that for you guys. And yeah, if you did enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, and well, hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.